Bum, 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 bum. Hello folks, Simon here and welcome to a brand new series. This is of course Final Fantasy VII. This is my first live stream for Final Fantasy VII here on PS4 and I apologise for my first live stream and I am 3 minutes late. But I did just have to make sure that everything was set up correctly before we started and it looks like it is, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully you guys can see the screen here. I think we are good to go. So we've got a few people in chat already as well, which is wonderful to see. The plan for this series is to actually go ahead. There you guys are. Hello. The plan for this series is to go ahead and try and get the Platinum Trophy in the same way that I did recently for Final Fantasy VIII. I know that many of you here at the moment were with me throughout the course of that adventure, and that was a lot of fun. And look at that, Lionheart Platinum. Woo. I've heard that the Final Fantasy VII Platinum is quite a bit more of a challenge than that one, so we'll see how we get on. Right now, the only trophy I've got is the complete the first battle, but that's not going to matter because I'm going to be starting the game again anyway. So, with the support of you guys, the tips from you guys, and everything else, I'm hoping we should be able to get through this one. This is one of my favourite games of all time, Final Fantasy VII. It's a game that I've had a lot of enjoyment with in times past, and it's a game that I expect to have a lot of fun with on this occasion as well. And seeing as how we have the remake coming out next year in March, just a few short months away, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to get back to the game, play through it again, and as I say, hopefully get that platinum. Okay, so good morning everybody. Let's go ahead and make a start with the game here. And yes, special movie, just in case you guys haven't seen this. I hadn't seen this actually. I'm not going to play it now because I'll probably get copyrighted or something. But this is the first trailer that was shown off for the remake, I think from 2015. So that's all it is, okay? Nothing to do with the actual main game itself, just a trailer for the remake. Okay, so here we go then. We're going to go ahead with a new game. And just to clarify, because we're getting the platinum, I'm going to be showing you right from the get-go what you need to do in order to do so, including the choices that need to be made in order to get the date with Barrett, which is more of a silly thing really than anything else, but it is important for the trophy that's tied to it here, and everything else that normally you might not really care about doing, but for the platinum is important. Right then, let's go. New game. Final Fantasy VII. Enjoy. Oh, look at this. Remastered mappings. Nice. Actually, this game, when it was put out on PS4, wasn't really classed as a remaster, was it? Even though I think it looks a little bit better than the original PlayStation game. I think it is based on the the PC port, as opposed to the original PlayStation game. Okay, right, let's go. We have got the little gameplay enhancements as well. Yeah, greetings everybody. Who have we got in chat then? Yum Yum, Nah Today, Fristy, Red Mario, Lomax and David. And who else have we got? Jacos, Camel, Laura. Whoa, so many people stopping by to watch Final Fantasy VII here. That's awesome. Yeah, welcome everybody. Good to have you with us. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I really am. I had so much fun with Final Fantasy VIII recently. I've got to say, that is one of the most fun times I've had playing through Final Fantasy VIII. And I think that's because I got to chat to you awesome boys and girls as I was playing through. And seeing as how her name is now officially Aerith, that is her canon name, which apparently it always was, but for me, playing the European version of the game since 1997, I've always known her as Ares. I am going to try and get used to calling her Aerith, which means that when we come to name our characters, I normally keep everybody by their default names, as you guys know, but when we get to name Ares, I'm going to call her Aerith for the sake of the remake coming out next year, so that we can all get into the habit of calling her Aerith. Oh yes, Final Fantasy VII. Oh, just seeing this shot of Midgar gets me excited to play the game. And excited for the remake. Getting to explore this city fully for the first time next year will be something quite special. For sure. Something quite special. Hello, Noonie. Welcome to the live stream. And morning, J-Man. Hey, welcome, Tim. Yeah, no problems. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. And yeah, I'm sure we'll have fun. Yeah, so this is really the first time, like I say, that I played the PS4 version. It's not remastered like the Final Fantasy VIII remaster was, because this is the original models. But I do believe they've been upscaled to 640 by 360 resolution. Woo! As opposed to the 320 or whatever it was on the PlayStation version of the game. Oh, that sounds good then, Stephen. Just downloaded the game. Right then, so of course we can go ahead and grab the couple of potions from this soldier here. You can get 2 potions total. You can get 2 from the first soldier, 2 from the second, or 1 from each, but you cannot get more than 2. Just before we go any further, let's go ahead and sort our config out. So I do like to just boost up battle speed a little bit. Battle message I tend to keep as it is, otherwise it whizzes through. And field message, let's just move that up to max. And everything else I'll pretty much keep the same. I might eventually move the cursor over to memory, but right now I'm going to keep things where they are. Hey, Eric Spencer, welcome to the stream. So, one thing to note is that we do have a battle coming up here, but it's really easy. And also, it's that time of the year in the UK where everybody is ill. So, unfortunately, I'm starting this new series with a bit of a cold, a bit of a sniffle, so you'll have to excuse any, cold side effects that are coming through today. But hopefully it won't be too distracting. And I'll try and mute the mic and the webcam if I start a sneezing fest or something of those lines. But hopefully I won't. Hopefully we'll get through. Hey, we level up. Level hype, level 7. Yeah, there's definitely a boost. There's definitely an upscaling here, for sure. No question about that. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is based on the PC port, because it's got save and quit, which is what the PC port had. Which is why we've got these upscaled models, because the PC port, even from 1998, had those. So, I'm pretty sure it's the original PlayStation score. The MIDI sounds so bad from the PC version that I don't think that's what it is. I think it's the PC port, but they've replaced the original music with the PlayStation music, which is what they did with the Steam version as well. So, right, let's just have a quick look here. Yeah, a bit of a lurgy, unfortunately, TC Robot. Well, I've had to get Pepsi Max. I didn't have time to make a cup of tea, because I was already running late to the stream. Hey, Adam, welcome to the stream. Oh, it's cold season for you in Japan. Oh, tucked up in bed. I like the sound of it. Yeah. Well, I thought to myself, nothing is going to stop me from starting this new series today. I was really looking forward to it. So. Yes, absolutely, Lone Star. And I thought, we've got to get the platinum for this game. We've got to before the remake comes out. I've played this game a lot, as you guys know. Loads and loads. But I've not played the PS4 version before. I purchased it ages ago, but I never got around to playing it. So, we're going to fix that now. We're going to fix that. Okay, so, this does have the same toggles, I believe, that the Final Fantasy VIII Remaster has. Which is the turbo mode, the no encounters, and what's the other one? Battle enhancement, which works the same way. You have limit breaks filled up, and the only way to get killed is if you get one shot. Barrett, let's go. Yeah, one of the strange things about Final Fantasy VII, if you played the Japanese version, is that the select and the cancel buttons are reversed on the Western release. I'm not sure why that was, but it's a little strange thing that happened. So if you played like the original game versus one of the ports and stuff, it can be a little bit confusing. I wonder if the remake will have a platinum for each game. I'm almost certain it will, Noonie, because each episode of the remake is being treated as a new individual game in and of itself. I would be very surprised if they didn't have their own set of trophies for each release. So, you got the platinum for this one, did you, Blake? Have you got the platinum for Final Fantasy VIII? I'm just interested, if anybody here has got the platinum for both Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy VII, how you think those trophies compare to one another. Because looking through the list, it seems to me like Final Fantasy VII could be quite a bit trickier. So, we'll see how we get on. Again, apologies if you're just joining me. I have got a bit of a cold today. I caught over the weekend. It's that time of the year in the UK, unfortunately. So you're going to be hearing a little bit of sniffling. But I didn't want to delay the stream, because it'd probably be like a week until I'm better anyway. So that'd be a big delay if I did. Hey, Jason. Yeah, I did get better from a cold, Tim, for about a week. But then we caught another one. The whole family's got it, unfortunately. I'll tell you what, I really love the enemy skill materia in Final Fantasy VII. It's the whole blue magic thing, isn't it, that you get in other Final Fantasy games. But I like the way it's, you know, it functions in this game. And collecting them all can be a lot of fun. And there's some really powerful ones as well, especially the defensive ones like White Wind and Big Guard. I use those quite frequently, I've got to say. Oh yeah, definitely Wes. That's got to be the worst out of all the Final Fantasy trophies, hasn't it? You got the platinum for 7, 8 and 9. 9 is pure, yeah. I haven't got the 10,000 kills yet in Final Fantasy 9 for the trophy. I have got the jump rope, and I have got the Excalibur weapon, the Excalibur 2. But I haven't got the 10,000 kills yet, so I do need to do that. So, I suspect the difficulty for the PlayStation games in terms of the trophies goes 9 as the hardest, then 7, and then 8. Right, just before we head down into the reactor itself, there's a little optional item we can grab here, a Phoenix Down. Yeah, that's a good point. There's 4 enemy skills you can get, as Red Mario says, in Final Fantasy VII. As in, like, there's more than 4 skills you can get off enemies, but there's 4 enemy skill materials, as in the actual yellow materia. Which is technically one more than you need, because you can only have 3 active party members. Oh, sorry to hear that, Cedric. Yeah, the Timber Maniacs are a missable trophy, unfortunately. Hey, Tifa Lockhart. Yeah, playing one of the classics, for sure. And I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How are you? I'll tell you what, I don't generally change the window colour in Final Fantasy VII. For 2 reasons. First of all, I've always used the traditional window colour, which is blue in this game, because that's the default setting. And second of all, I can never find a good contrast. The way that it's set up by default, I think the text is nicely readable, but if you change the colour to pretty much anything else, I can't seem to get a good contrast with it anyway. I end up just getting a headache or something. To be honest, Isaiah, I've not been a platinumer. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm creating it now if it isn't. I've never been a platinumer. But recently I have been finding myself getting the platinums for the Final Fantasy games. So, seeing as how I'm on a roll, I thought it's something I may as well continue with. Now, it's not required by any stretch of the imagination. But I tend to like to level Cloud and Barret up here before the upcoming boss fight. Completely not necessary. But again, it's just something I've always done. And, hey, it's one less level that you need to find later on, isn't it? Especially because there is a trophy, I think, to max out levels to 99. I saw it earlier when I was going through the list. I'll tell you what, though. I've got to get into the habit of not trying to pull the gunblade every time Cloud attacks there. I've already done it twice so far. That's too much Final Fantasy VIII, that is. But, it's blasphemy to change the colour. Well, yeah, I've just never done it, to be honest with you, so I probably am not going to sign that. It's the same with the names. I've never changed the names, but I am going to break that tradition on this playthrough with one person, and that's Aries. I'm going to be changing her to Aerith, just to try and get into the habit of calling her Aerith, ready for the remake, which is what she will be called in that game. Yeah, welcome folks to those that are stopping by. There's quite a few of you according to those in chat, which is awesome. It's pretty cool that one of my favourite games is still so popular. Oh, that's interesting, Lomax. I don't think I'm going to be going for a perfect game. By that definition myself, although it is interesting to note for those that want to. I'm probably going to be going for what I did with Final Fantasy VIII, which is a platinum walkthrough. Which obviously means killing all of the story stuff. All of the optional bosses, and doing all the other stuff that's required for the trophies and what have you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Emerald Weapon. In my opinion, Emerald Weapon is actually harder than Ruby Weapon. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people I've heard say that Ruby Weapon's the hardest because of the fact that you only have one party member effectively against him. But with the right strategy, you know, Ruby Weapon isn't that hard, even when you're just going against him solo. But Emerald Weapon, even with the right strategy, if you're not careful, can easily kill your party. Right, let's go for our first save file. Hey, Adrian, thanks for subbing on YouTube. Afternoon, Dylan. Welcome to the stream. And let's start going for some backup saves as well, shall we? I'm going to start my backup saves in save slot 2. No, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have backup saves a different way than I did Final Fantasy VIII. I'm just going to go down the list. So we'll keep this one there forever. And then I'll start saving over this slot here now. Until I eventually move on down to number 3. If that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just going to do a tad bit of grinding. Get into the habit of playing Final Fantasy VII over Final Fantasy VIII again. Which means let's just use the good old speed up function. Make the most of these abilities while we've got them. Oh, hang on. I was holding down confirm then. I thought it would attack automatically. It isn't. Wow, it's been longer than I thought playing Final Fantasy VII. I forgot that didn't happen in this game. Okay, let's turn the time speed off. It's actually a little bit challenging to kill these guys and to select everything, but it's good when you're kind of like running around trying to get into battle. Okay, so I'm going to build up some limit breaks ready for the boss. In fact, we've got limit breaks now, so I might have to use them because you can't use normal attack once you've got limit break. So let's go ahead and just use Barrett's final attack here to finish this guy off. Oh, he's got limit as well. Okay, Barrett, go on then, big shot. I'll save some MP. Hey, Ryan. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, so I want to just level up a little bit here. Wild Ting, thanks for subbing. But only for one level or so. So we'll level Cloud up, and then we'll go to the boss. We'll save again and go to the boss. Heal up. Oh, definitely, Ben. I actually remember back in the day, trying everything I could to get through this door. That is a real deception of Square to put that in for us, isn't it? In fact, I've always wondered to this day whether you were supposed to be able to go through that door. And for just whatever reason, they never finished the area, so you couldn't. But it does look like it. There's also that area later on, in, I think it's Sector 7, where there's some guards standing in front of another exit, and there's just no way to get past them. Kind of made me think, like, that there were going to be some interesting things to discover down there, but Square never did that. So in the end, they just stuck guards there to stop you going through. Right, let's see if we can kill this guy, shall we, without using Cloud's limit, so we can save that for the boss. Hey, Sephiroth. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, there's some pretty good stuff to steal in this game, isn't there, Wes? Pretty good stuff to steal. Right, so there we go. We've leveled up. Let's go ahead and heal up. A lot of those fights that we did actually give us potions. So, you can actually heal while grinding in this little bit. Now, historically, I have actually done a bit more grinding in this area to get to about, I guess, one more level with Cloud and Barrett. But for the sake of the stream, I'm not going to bother. We might get another battle as we go across the screen here. We didn't. You played this game back in the 90s, Carlo. And at the big rocket with the great material, you wasn't able to input the anti-destruction code. Oh, yeah. It's a bit annoying, isn't it, trying to do some of that stuff with the huge materia later on. Yeah. You can mess that up. I think only one of the huge materia off the top of my head is actually required by the story. And the rest are actually optional. I did not know you could glitch past those guards, D. Whittaker. I really didn't. But that's interesting. It takes you back to the playground, does it? Ah, okay, yeah. Jacob says something similar as well. Back to the playground area. I had no idea you could glitch past them. That's really interesting to note. Right, so the Final Fantasy VII Remake, pretty much the demo, takes place through the bit we've played and then up until and including this boss fight, doesn't it? It always seems a lot more detailed in the remake than it does in this game. But the music, even in the original here, the music, the setting, the characters, the story, it just gets you in the feels. The nostalgia feels especially, it really does. Right, here he is. It's the Guard Scorpion, or should it be the Scorpion Sentinel? Let's just go ahead and braver him before we start unleashing the bolts. I'll tell you what, this fight looks a lot more challenging in the remake. It really does. It's so easy, this boss fight in the original game. Umbrian, taking a break from Final Fantasy X guide to watch play some Final Fantasy VII. Love your voice. Well, thanks, Umbrian. And yeah, Final Fantasy X is a fun game as well. I enjoyed doing the walkthrough series for that. As a matter of fact, in all fairness, Final Fantasy VII is not really a hard game, is it? It's never really bothered me. I know some people, obviously, like hard games and stuff. But I've always enjoyed this game, even though it's not been the most difficult game. Some bosses, however, are challenging. And do require a good strategy. Oh, that was a nasty crit. Right, we need to be a little bit careful here, because he's going to lift his tail up soon. So when he does that, we'll take the opportunity to heal. There we go. And this is where we get a bad translation. It's like, Cloud, be careful. Oh, Barrett, be careful. Attack while his tail's up. Okay, attack, attack. And then it'll counter-attack with its laser. Yeah, good translation. Thanks, Cloud. I guess it should say, if you attack while its tail is up, it's going to counter-attack with its laser. Rather than actually commanding you to do so. I know for a fact, because you can look on the internet and discover this for yourself, that many a people have suffered game over from that translation. Oh, wow, Jacob. Yeah, that's interesting you say that, because I always worry when people come to this game nowadays that they wouldn't be able to appreciate it in the way that obviously those of us that played it back in the day were able to. But that's good if you, you know, have been able to. Oh, there he goes. Goodbye, Scorpion Sentinel. Hey, Rene, yes, back at it again. Right, so we get the assault gun for Barrett. Yeah, although I've got to say, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, the boss fight actually looks really hard. Or maybe it isn't that hard, maybe it's just more of an epic scale of a boss fight. But it did look quite challenging in the gameplay demos that I've been watching. Hey, Robert. Oh, there's something about them, isn't it, about these graphics. Right, let's go ahead and sort Barrett's new weapon out, shall we? So he gets a nice boost to his attack. And we'll throw a couple of potions around the place. And we'll save our game. And then we'll start making a move. Oh, one thing I want to test is if this game is like Final Fantasy VIII when you use turbo mode. And if it doesn't speed up any of the timers that might be playing. Oh, it does. Okay, a little tip for you guys there then. In Final Fantasy VIII, if you were in a time section of the game, you could still use turbo mode and not increase the speed of those timers. But you can't here, look at that. It rockets down. Something to note. Okay, so now we're just going to make our way out of this place. And we're almost done with the first mission already. But do not forget to speak to Jesse. I probably did that one time when I first started playing this game. But in all fairness, I actually think that the 10-minute timer is tuned for you to forget to speak to Jessie and have to come back to her. Because you get so much time to get through to the end of this area. Hey, Kerwin. You alright, are you? Oh, that's awesome, Reinhardt. Oh, some good memories then. Whoa, David, that's insane. I don't actually have the number in front of me on the screen. I have the chat pulled out, you see. So I can keep everything on one monitor, including the game. But that's scary to think that there's 150 people watching. Yeah, greetings everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's awesome to see that Final Fantasy VII can pull in such a crowd after all these years, actually. Because it's one of my favourites. Even to this day, it is one of my favourites. I love it. And that's why I thought, I've got to get the Platinum Trophy before the remake comes out next year. It's just one of those things that has to be done. Look, we're not even in any rush here. We've got 7.5 minutes. Hello, Red Imp. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm still interested, very much so, in how the various projects in the remake are going to connect with one another. Obviously, we know story-wise they're going to be following, you know, one from another as they move on. But in terms of the actual gameplay mechanics, so because each episode is going to be a full game, they're going to require, each episode is going to require a full, you know, system of developing your part and your characters and powering up your team. Because if you're just carrying everything across from the first game and don't need to do any work in the second, for example, well, that's not going to be fun. But then, if you're not carrying anything across from the game before, you kind of feel like that you haven't earned anything, even if you have. So I'd be interested to see how they actually do that. I mean, in Final Fantasy XIII, the trilogy, each game was independent of the one before, wasn't it, in terms of progression. So I suspect it'd be something similar, but I don't expect everybody will be happy about that. Corey Jordan, I only just started playing this the other week after finishing Final Fantasy VIII. Ah, yeah, I've had the same idea as you then. Yeah, I've just finished Final Fantasy VIII and have come back to Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I did actually do a walkthrough on my channel for this game, but that was like in 2012, and that was the last time, actually 7 years ago, that I played this game all the way through. So I thought, yeah, we've got to get back to it now, haven't we? We've got to get back to it. Let's just do a little bit of grinding. We've got 5 minutes. I do like to try and get a couple of early levels if we can. I think it's important if we can do so. It just helps us out later. Plus also, the more times we get to use limit breaks, then the quicker we can learn new limit breaks. Although there's one thing to note, and that is you can actually do limit breaks constantly using the toggle that's with the PS4 version of the game, can't you? I'm not going to do so yet, but it is there as an option if you want to use it. Right, one thing to note as well, something I haven't done, but probably can do, is stick Barrett into the back row. And the reason for that is he will do the same amount of damage to all enemies, regardless of whether he's in the back row, the front row, whether they're in the front row or the back row, because he's a ranged character. And that's just how things work in this game. But by being in the back row, he'll actually take less damage himself. So in my opinion, it is worth just doing that. And we just go to order here, click him. We can do it in battle as well, but we can do it here as well. And stick him in the back row. So it's something I tend to do right from the start when we get Barrett. I just forgot though, but now I've remembered. We'll do it. Yeah, I will be getting all of the ultimate weapons during this playthrough at some point as well. I've actually targeted the wrong characters there, I think. So Barrett wants to target the characters at the back, or the enemies at the back, and Cloud wants to target the enemies at the front. Because again, Barrett is going to do the same amount of damage, regardless of where they are in the formation. Yep, so this is the PS4 version of the game. And looks like we should be able to level Cloud up before we run out of time. And we'll have a nice healthy supply of potions as well going forward. Don't forget, if you haven't got it already, to grab the Phoenix down that's in that room just over there. So we'll use Barrett to attack the back one. And this should then go ahead, give us Cloud's level, and we'll move on. A nice start to the game, I would say. A successful beginning. Okay, I'm jumping the gun a bit because we haven't yet completed this mission. But I can't see anything's going to get in our way now. There we go. As far as eco-terrorists go, I think that was a good job. Yep, I'll definitely be getting a gold chocobo. Actually, the chocobo mini-game, getting a gold chocobo, is one of my favourites. I really enjoy it. I even like chocobo racing. I know a lot of people don't and find it a frustrating experience. And it is a bit frustrating if you keep getting the wrong gender when you're mating them and you have to keep reloading. But overall, I think it's quite an enjoyable little thing to do, little side quest to do. And since it's got such an awesome reward, it kind of makes sense to do it. This was the first game I ever played in my life that had such high production values. Before this, I'd played, you know, Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, Sonic, Mario. I hadn't really played any RPGs. To go from that to a game like Final Fantasy VII, this was my first game that I played on PlayStation. It was phenomenal. It was like a high-budget movie, but in like the gaming version of it. Wait, what's that, Wes? Somebody was grinding to level 99, then saved it. Sold their save file or something. Right then. Okay, now. Ha 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 ha. Seeing as how we're talking about the Platinum Trophy, this is where it first becomes relevant, because we need to get chosen by Barrett later on at the Gold Saucer. And it's important that we do this right, because if we don't do it right, we could mess up. Although, I believe there's a little glitch we can take advantage of. I've not done it before, but I will mention it. I'll probably make a video about it when we get there. There's a glitch we can use to boost our points up with Barrett, so that we'll always get chosen by him. But I'm also going to show you the proper way. And just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, Aerith, Barrett, Tifa and Yuffie each are able to pick Cloud to take them around the Gold Saucer later on. and they all have a point system which is hidden from the player, and depending on how nice we are to them, that will determine how many points we get for each character. And the trophy is to get chosen by Barrett. Okay, now the problem is Barrett is by far out of all four the hardest to get chosen by. And that's because he starts on 0 points, whereas the other characters, Aerith for example, starts on 50. If you've ever wondered why you get picked by Aerith the most at the Gold Saucer on your various playthroughs, it's because she's like the canon pick, so to speak. She starts on 50 points, I think Tifa starts on 30, Yuffie on 15 and Barrett on 0. So yep, a couple of people have mentioned, and Blake has mentioned, that you can do a little trick. I think it's a glitch you can take advantage of to guarantee getting picked by Barrett. But I'm also going to show you the proper way as well in case you don't want to do that. Now, neither of these choices affect points, but they will later on. So we're going to select Nothing Kate, first of all. And then we're going to select Don't See Many Flowers Around Here. And we are going to buy a flower. Now, whether we buy a flower, don't buy a flower, send Aerith off before we, even ask her about the flowers, none of that's going to affect anything, strangely enough. That doesn't change the points at all. But we can buy a flower here, and what we do with that flower will determine who gets points a little bit later on. So we're going to go ahead and buy one. So yeah, the thing with the Platinum in Final Fantasy VII, you do kind of have to plan early for it, as you can see. Otherwise, you might miss out on it, which could be kind of annoying. But I think there's an item we can grab over here, yeah. We'll pick up the potion. Oh, is that true, is it, Mr. Zephyr? To be honest, I didn't even know about the glitch until somebody first mentioned it the other day in chat, and then I looked up and read about it. So I'll probably make a video on it maybe, but I'm not going to actually do it myself, which is why I'm doing things properly here. But I will mention that as well when I make a video on that glitch. It might be worth perhaps just doing it for a few points, but not going overboard with it. So, yeah, I think you can do it for Yuffie as well, can't you? Right, I'm not going to do the fights here. There's really no need to, except if you want the experience. But seeing as how Cloud's the only party member, farming for experience here is kind of redundant in my view. I think it's Dio. Lomax, am I right on that? I answer that before anybody else says so in chat, even though there's a delay, so somebody else might say it before you hear me say it. Since the remake is over multiple games and possible multiple systems, yeah, that's true. In fact, I think it's almost certainly going to be over multiple systems, isn't it? With PS5 coming out next year as well. How they're going to do things like the date minigame, if they even have it, I've no idea, Yum Yum. I really don't. I don't think that'll be tied to the first game at all, though, so it'll probably be tied to whatever game that would happen to be in, which could be the second, or maybe the third. Yep, I'm finished with Final Fantasy VIII now. We got the Platinum Trophy, completed the game, killed everything, overpowered our party. I might go back to it at some point to start a new playthrough, perhaps like a No Junction playthrough or something, a challenge playthrough could be fun. But I've heard that takes a lot of dedication, so I'd really need to make sure that I'm up for doing that before starting, really. Okay, well, thanks for joining us today, today, and enjoy the rest of the day. Hey, Brian. Oh, yes. I thought I've got to get the Platinum. Got to do it before the remake comes out. Especially because I love this game so much. It just kind of makes sense. Hey, Captain Doomed. Good morning to you. Welcome. I think we've seen this scene, haven't we, again in the remake trailer. I'm sure they showed it to us. I could be wrong on that. In one of the trailers, I think we saw this bit where Cloud makes his entrance to the train here. So, Oh, what town do you find full cure materia? Ooh, that's a tough one, Lomax. That's a tough one. Yes, Nooney. I actually did 2 videos on Amiga Weapon. I did a cheese method and a proper method, so you can use either strategy on that one. Hey, Dean. Thank you for the donation. That's very kind of you. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. All of these scenes, I'm so excited to see them play out in the remake with all the voice acting and the 2019 production values that we've already seen in the trailers and stuff. Yeah, it's going good, thanks, Michael. How are you? Yeah, definitely. No Junction is, from what I've heard, one of the hardest fan-made challenges to any Final Fantasy game ever. Especially because you don't have access to limit breaks like Lionheart, because you don't have the Lionheart weapon, because you can't make it without junctioning for the abilities. I will do. Thank you, Dean. And I look forward to it as well. Even though the only beer I drink is bitter, like John Smith's. And everybody thinks I'm crazy because they say I'm not an old man, but I think I am. But I look forward to that. Thank you. What is the name of Genova's final form? Oh yeah, I just seen Red Mario say Genova Synthesis. That's it. Yes. You got Genova Life. No, Genova Birth first. When you're on the cargo ship. Genova Life. Genova Death. And then Genova Synthesis, isn't it? For me, my favourite soundtrack probably is Final Fantasy VII, I'll be honest with you. Although, to be honest, there's not many Final Fantasy games I don't really like the soundtrack. Even Final Fantasy XIII, believe it or not, I thought it had a fairly catchy soundtrack to it. Even Final Fantasy XV had some fantastic musical score to go with the game. It really, really did. La 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 la. I loved it. The game was a little bit of a disappointment in some ways, but the music was very good. Hey Travis, welcome to you in the States. Yeah, I'm more than happy for you to have something to watch. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this series myself, actually. I think Barrett and his cronies forgot to read the whole Terrorist 101 manual that you need to sort of blend in on public transport rather than scare everybody off right from the get-go. That's how you get caught, Barrett. Yep, so we can chat to some of the passengers here. They don't have a whole lot to say to us. All we need to do is speak to Jesse, I believe. Okay. Hey, Mystic Sky. Welcome to the stream. And Steve Ozone. I've seen you sneak online there. Yeah, it is camera phobia, isn't it? Final Fantasy VII is just a fantastic game all around. I've got to agree with you there. I understand that they could have done the translation better into English. and the way it was done made the story a little bit unnecessarily confusing. But this was a huge undertaking, perhaps for the first time ever, wasn't it? For Square. I know that they did some of the other Final Fantasy games beforehand on Super Nintendo, but to do translation along with everything else here, I can't really complain about it. The story, the characters, the music, it just all came together perfectly. I think you're right there, David. I think you're right. And I'm pretty sure it'll be the same in the remake. Original playthrough was your first walkthrough and you played. Ah, fantastic. Well, if I'm going to make this series, and again, apologies about my cold here, folks. If I'm going to make this series in a similar way that I did the Final Fantasy VIII Remaster walkthrough, then I'm hoping this will become the definitive Final Fantasy VII walkthrough for my channel. Meaning that it will be better than the other one that I've got up online as a series. What's that, Red Mario? What, can't you get an S Barrett's on the team? And Solaris, did I play Final Fantasy VI? Yes, I did play Final Fantasy VI, and I loved Final Fantasy VI. Although, the last time I played it, and I've only actually played it through once, was probably about a few months after I finished Final Fantasy VII for the first time, back in the 90s. So I don't remember much about that game at all, but I would love to get back to it at some point. I'm really hoping they'll re-release it on PS4 or something. That'd be a perfect excuse to play it and cover it on the channel, because a lot of people will be, you know, searching for it and stuff then, won't they, if it's just been re-released. Oh yeah, good point, Mario. One thing I always do, actually, but I appreciate you reminding me, is head into the shop in Sector 7 and just stocking up on the various materials and stuff, and the bangles. I think it's the iron bangle, or no, something. There's a armor accessory you can buy, which is a lot better than the ones that we're using currently. Oh yeah, good point, Red Mario. Yeah, need to have Barrett in the team when we go back, don't we? Isn't that also where there's a missing weapon you were sharing with us recently as well? Or a missing item, or a rare item that's hard to remember to get or something. Review your wallet, USA. It's going good, thanks. How are you? Apart from the fact I've got a bit of a cold, so again, just apologies to those that are having to put up with my sniffles here on stream. It did sort of cross my mind to delay the stream, but I thought I'm not feeling that ill, and I really don't want to delay the stream just for the sake of a cold, because it's that time of year in the UK. I'm probably going to have a cold for the next 3 or 4 months anyway, so you may as well just persevere through it type of thing. Oh, Lomax, that's enemy skill. I'm sure that... Ah! And I've just seen Mr. Zephyr's comment as well, but I promise you that even though you will read his comment before you hear me because of the delay, his comment came up after I said that, just. So I wasn't cheating, although I probably can't prove that. We'll just say hello to the guard, because, you know, it just keeps us a little bit less suspicious, doesn't it, if we're just saying hello to all of the Shinra employees here. They've done something to the text, haven't they? The text kind of looks, I want to say, smoother. It looks a little different than what I remember anyway. For sure. Oh yeah, I do, Cody, for sure. Well, Mystic Sky, here's the thing. When it comes to Carbuncle, because I've done quite a bit of research on this now, Physical editions, you're right, you do have to get the first class edition in order to get Carbuncle. But if you want to not spend that much money and get the first class edition just for the sake of Carbuncle, you can buy the digital deluxe edition and you'll still get Carbuncle. But if you buy the physical deluxe edition, you won't. It's a weird situation. I think Square would rather people buy the digital deluxe rather than the physical deluxe, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I don't know. I have got the first class edition pre-ordered, so that's the one I would like to get. But it's a lot of money, obviously, so I still need to think about it. Is this where we get them to fall over? Or is that later? It's such a strange conversation, this is. It really is. Yeah, definitely Solaris. Well, thank you, Lomax. I'll tell you what, I'll try and answer the questions, but don't give me any points. That way only people in chat can win. Yeah, Crisis Core is a game I've played as well. Right, okay, let's just move on for now. And I enjoyed it. I would like to play it again, but I don't have easy access to a PSP, and I can't really be bothered to set up like emulation and stuff, so I would like Square to perhaps remaster it, or just re-release it as a main console game, which I thought they might have done because of trying to generate hype for the remake next year, but so far they haven't, have they? Well, thank you, Dominic Martin, that's very kind. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Jacob. Right, so these are the two guards that you can't get past, but apparently you can glitch past. But it just takes you to the playground that you go to later on. I think later these guards actually are not there, but Cloud stops you from leaving still, if I remember, because that's when the pillar's in trouble. Okay, so we'll do our shopping along with everything else a little bit later. We'll go through the cutscenes first, and I'm going to show you the choices you need to make in order to be selected by Barrett at the Gold Saucer later. Interestingly, it's hard to see here, but this bar has Texas Cowboy something written on the top of it. Makes you wonder where the planet of Final Fantasy VII, which is usually known as Gaia, is actually located. Couple that with the fact that it seems that it's in our solar system based on various spells of enemies later on and Bugenhagen's laboratory. It kind of grounds this game a little bit more in an earthly sense, doesn't it, than anything else. But it can't be too much in the past because Texas wouldn't have been Texas then. So, very strange. Although, in the remake, we saw Tifa's bar, Seventh Heaven, and it didn't have Texas written on the door. What's the game that's coming out next year that's a remaster? Is it Final Fantasy? No, it's not Tactics, is it? It's Final Fantasy something or other. January. It's a PlayStation, not one of the main Final Fantasy games, you see. One of the others. And I can't think off the top of my head which one it is. Hey, Dominic, thanks for subbing. That's really kind. On YouTube, thank you. We're just going to select... I don't think this matters, to be honest with you. Oh, yeah. Is that... Yeah, you're right, Yum Yum. Oh, I did actually play Medieval. It wasn't on PlayStation. I played the PSP version. And that was a fun game. I haven't got the remake, or the remaster, whatever it is. Mostly because of the fact that I just don't think I'd have time to play it. But yeah, the original was a lot of fun. Wow, there's a lot of Final Fantasy VII experts in this chat, I've got to say. Lomax's questions are getting slaughtered. Oh, right, here we go. This is the first important thing we need to do. Assuming you want to build points up with Barrett, you need to give it to Marlene. I know it means upsetting Tifa, because she's going to feel stupid after assuming it was for her. But that's the way it's got to be. Okay, and now you don't want to talk to Tifa. Just try and leave the room. And Barrett will come storming in. Joseph, thanks for subbing. Yeah, welcome to all the new subscribers recently. We've got, from today, the 21st of October, up until March next year to platinum this game. I think we can do it quite easily. Should be plenty of time, especially if I get 3 streams a week in. Might not be as quick as Final Fantasy VIII because I was streaming that about 5 to 10 times a week when it first came out. Whereas I've just, you know, slowed down a little bit so I didn't drive you guys crazy too much. But at 3 streams a week, I think we can make some good progress. Right, we can talk to Tifa here, but it's important that you don't have a drink with her. So select I don't feel like it. Okay, and now we're going to go down. Oh, right, we need to do this bit first. Yes, Travis, they will be on my page. YouTube will archive them. I'll put them in a playlist as well. And I'll even make standalone videos from the footage that I record from the streams, just with any important stuff that we come across. So. There's still a couple more choices we need to make here to get points with Barrett, but not until we head back up to the bar itself. So I'll mention those as we get there. And hey GB, welcome to the stream. You're playing the game as well, are you, at the moment? Whereabouts are you in the adventure? Unless you've just started, as I have, I'm guessing you're probably a fair bit ahead of where I am here at the moment. Jake, thanks for subbing. And welcome to the stream. Yes, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That's the one that's being remastered, isn't it, for next year? I've never played Crystal Chronicles, ever. I love the way that Barrett here doesn't trust Cloud, and they've captured that really well in the remake, haven't they, in the trailers. Barrett does not trust Cloud at all during that opening mission. And when the Scorpion Sentinel attacks them, he blames Cloud, doesn't he? As if Cloud set them up. It's going to be really interesting to see Cloud and Barrett's relationship form as they become friends and whatnot over the course of the game. Oh, that's interesting, Red Mario. So basically talk to Barrett a lot. Oh, which item casts Comet 2? Yeah, fire it up, Jake. Play along. Well, I've spoken to him a couple of times there. Yeah, some of the little side quests in Final Fantasy VII don't give brilliant rewards. But we'll probably be completing them anyway, won't we? He gets very defensive, does our Cloud, doesn't he? We can chat to some of the other Avalanche members as well. Oh, no, I've just thought, Jesse, Wedge and Biggs, they're going to be fully fleshed out in the remake. Square are so evil. I love it. Cloud, you just want friends. Blow off. I don't think I've ever heard that phrase before. Not like that, anyway. But I might use it from now on. Right, let's head upstairs, shall we? Oh, yeah. No. I think there should be Yum Yum. I just saw your message there. There should be a little nod to that. And Fred, thanks for subbing. Appreciate it. Right, let's make our way out. Then Tifa will come up, and now we basically need to be mean to her in order to go ahead and boost our points up with Barrett. So she'll tell us about the promise, and we have to apologise. When you say the chocobo glitch, which glitch are we talking about? Is it the one where you can get a gold chocobo without having to race chocobos, or are we thinking of something else? Just remind me. I think I caught it a few streams ago, Red Mario. I haven't seen it today. You're probably better off reminding me when we get closer to the actual event, because it's not until we return to Midgar, is it? So I'm hoping you'll be around in the chat at that point, just to remind me in case I do forget. Right, so we're going to select sorry here. I know it seems like a strange response when we're trying to boost points with Barrett, but we have to find the fine line of not upsetting Tifa too much, because Barrett actually likes Tifa. So I'm going to be showing you all the correct choices to make. Yeah, I'll definitely try it, Red Mario. It feels kind of wrong. I love the chocobo racing in this game. I find it so much fun, but I want to try that as well. I've seen it, somebody else did it, I think, before on YouTube. So I want to give it a go myself. But yeah, I'll be looking to your tips for it, no doubt. Obviously, still a bit of a while off. It does sound like Mark Hamill, doesn't it? Don Corneo's voice. Although I wouldn't mind that. He would be the perfect choice for that. Although I don't think it can be Mark Hamill. I think it would have been announced if it was. It's just somebody doing a Mark Hamill Joker impression. If you're talking about for the gold saucer, Jake, I've got to pick Barrett because he's the one that's tied to a trophy and we're going for the platinum trophy. The others are not tied to a trophy. If I wasn't going for the trophy, I would probably, and I was doing it properly, I would probably pick Tifa simply because Aerith is usually the common choice. And it's the one that normally happens when I play the game. So, for a bit of variety, I probably would have chosen Tifa. But, like I say, that choice is pretty much out of our hands because we want the Platinum Trophy. Has that been confirmed, has it, Yum Yum? If so, that's awesome. I remember when, that trailer first came out and everybody was like, is that Mark Hamill? So, if it's been confirmed since then fantastic. Okay, Jake. I'm so caught up in the trophies that when everybody asks me questions in chat, that's the context I'm answering them from. Well, I wouldn't be able to pick either, unfortunately, because my wife would probably decapitate me if I did. But I can tell you when I was growing up, I was always more of an Aerith person. Putting me in the minority, I understand. As most of my friends certainly would have preferred Tifa. How many missiles can you get? I thought it was 2. But that's off the top of my head. This is one of those scenes that just rakes up the nostalgia for me. It really does. It's the music, the setting, just everything really. Oh yeah, Jana, I've seen the demo for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. It looks absolutely amazing. It really does. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I really can't next year. Unless Square are kind enough to, you know, maybe release the demo out to us a little bit before the game comes out. The demo that everybody else has been playing. Hiya, Bree. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that. I don't think I used the Mistyle equipment that much previously, but I did know it was limited. Oh, okay, Red Mario. Oh, so you can force the RNG into your favour in Final Fantasy VII. That seems like a Final Fantasy tradition now, doesn't it? How can you force the RNG to where you want it in order to get what you need without having to grind too much? Right, and there's one more thing we need to do here in order to go ahead and get extra points with Barret. There's one choice we need to make. Oh, you just reminded me we've got to get Aerith's final limit break for the trophy. Oh, that's so annoying because it's like the most annoying final limit break to get, in my opinion. Even more so than Cloud's Omnislash, where you have to do a lot at the battle square. Because you've got to do 5,000 points at the speed square, haven't you, for Aerith's? And it just feels like at the end it's a waste. But at least in this case it won't feel like that because we'll get a trophy to show for it, won't we? So. Right. I think we're supposed to speak to Tifa, actually. I don't think we have to explain to him how to use materia because it's just a tutorial. So I'll just select you wouldn't understand. Ah, I think we've messed it up. I think, don't worry, we can still get the right choice with Barret without having to use the glitch. But you need to speak to Tifa before speaking to Barret. And the reason for that is if you speak to Tifa, you can tell her that Barret's snoring kept you up. And that actually gives you points with Barret, which is what you want. So, try and do that if you can, guys. I thought we'd still have opportunity to do it, but we don't. Okay? So just bear that in mind. Oh, fantastic, Mark. I'm glad that's still working. Yeah, I've seen a few people comment on that recently. Oh, okay, Mr. Zephyr. You don't need the speed square. I don't know what... I don't normally get Aerith's Great Gospel, you see. But I always thought... I think the one time I did get it, I had to go to the speed square. But you don't have to do that. I'll have to read up about that before doing it. No, Red Mario. The Fort Condor is something I generally ignore. And even on the battle that you have to do as part of the story, I tend to just let the enemies catch up so you can just kill the one enemy in order to go ahead and finish that battle. Do you have to do those Fort Condor battles for any of these trophies? I had a look through them and I didn't see anything. But maybe you do. So. Hi Snowball. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's great to say hello to you. Thank you. And you're welcome. Right, let's go into here and we'll stock up on some good stuff. We've got a little bit of money, a little bit of gil. So we may as well start making some purchases and start equipping some materia and what have you. Head of Shinra's weapons. I was going to say Heidegger, although Mr. Zephyr's jumped in there with Scarlet, so I'm going to submit to his knowledge and say that I'm probably wrong and he's probably right. Okay, right, I'm just going to go ahead and purchase fire because that's the only one we don't have out of these four. You can also stock up on a couple of other items as well if you want to. A couple of antidotes. Ooh, not that many. Probably won't go amiss. Let's just go for 3. We do want to save some money for the equipment next door as well. So I'm not going to purchase Phoenix Downs because I don't plan on dying. Yeah, that is some awesome knowledge there, Zephyr. That's insane. Right, so the thing we need to buy here, which I do recommend, is iron bangles. And I'm just going to go ahead and purchase 3. Now, we're going to equip those, and then we're going to sell the rubbish that we were using before, the bronze bangles, which don't sell for much, but we may as well get rid of them. And then we're going to sort out our materia. Now, we will also be able to upgrade our bangles a little bit later on to carbon bangles. But, like I say, that's not for a short time, so let's go ahead and stock up on the irons while we can. Okay, Red Mario. Alright, well, I'll perhaps for the first time start looking at doing some of those Fort Condor battles. On my last walkthrough for this game that I did on the channel, I don't think I ever touched it apart from the required battle, as I say, that I pretty much just ignored. Right, so let's go ahead and, yeah, unequip those. And you've got a choice here, because we have the all materia. Hang on, where's the all materia? Oh, we haven't got it yet. I was panicking then, I thought we'd missed it. Let's get that first, shall we? It's up here. Whew, I panicked then for a moment. Right, so we'll speak to this guy. Or speak near him and we'll get the all. Hey, we got one right off. That was a materia. Next, take this treasure chest. Ether. We don't really need to use the save points. And I don't think there's anything up here, but for the sake of exploration, let's just have a quick nosy on in, shall we? I think we'll pass if you don't mind. Right, so anyway, what I was saying, now that we've got the all materia, you've basically got a choice. You can use it for restore, and in which case you can cure all your party members when they take damage, which is a really nice thing to do. Don't, you know, neglect that. The fact that it is actually very useful and not a bad choice. But for me, because I've played the game quite a bit already, I'm going to stick it with the lightning materia for the time being. There's a lot of mechanical enemies in the next area, and we can literally just blitz through quite a few of the encounters with a single bolt all cast. So that's what I'm going to go for there. For now, we'll just... Barrett's kind of useless with magic because his spells, his weapon tends to do quite a bit of damage anyway, but I'll stick him with Cure and with Ice. It's important you do equip all the magics, even though they tend to lower your health, and that's because you want to start leveling them up. If they're not equipped, they won't gain AP, which you can see. We've already started to gain there. Okay. Right, let's make our way back down. Right, so now we're going to move on. Let's go ahead and save our game before we do anything else, though. There we go. I'm just going to check. Yeah, those guards are still there. Still saying the same thing. There is a way to glitch past them, people were saying. Now, I'm not using Restore All Red Mario. I just find... It is, like I said, it is really a nice spell to use, but for the upcoming battles in the train tunnel, I think Boltal is just far more efficient at getting through them faster. Right, this is where they fall over. Very strange conversation there. Hey, Desiree, welcome to the stream. Yeah, you made it. Devante, yes, I'm definitely getting the remake. I've got it pre-ordered. Very much looking forward to it. And it's very important on this next section that we do not get caught by the security lockdown. Because if we do, we lose a lot of points with Barrett, which is exactly what we don't want. Yes. Yeah, Red Mario is right. There are people we can speak to when the timer is active, which we have to be quick, including the guy that steals from us. We can actually get that back from him. The weapons are tough, Dominic. There's no doubt about that. The weapons are tough. It becomes quite a little popular character, this Shinra manager, doesn't he? We chat to him a few times during the game. Oh, I know that one, Lomax. Oh, it's the dragon with two heads. It's... Oh, Zephyr's beat me to it again. Oh, Schizo. Yes. It's an interesting name for a dragon with two heads. Oh, I thought I was going to get that then. You're too fast, Mr. Zephyr. You're too knowledgeable. It's not fair. I'm only joking, of course. That's an insane level of knowledge you've got there for this game. For me, personally... Final Fantasy VII is my favourite Final Fantasy. But I don't know how much of that is... The game is objectively better over Final Fantasy VIII, for example. Or how much of it is just down to subjective nostalgia and the like. Because it was the first Final Fantasy that I played. And so I've got a lot of fond memories with it. But for me, I would definitely say Final Fantasy VII is my favourite game. At least out of all the Final Fantasy games. So. Ah, Yum Yum. That's very kind of you. $5 super chat. Put this amount towards your pre-order fund for Final Fantasy VII Remake, so you don't have to cancel it. Heard you talking about that on Friday. Oh, that's awesomely kind, Yum Yum. Don't worry, I will not be cancelling my pre-order, even if I have to downgrade it a little bit from the first class edition, which is very expensive. But that is super kind of you. Thank you, Yum Yum. And I'm very much looking forward to the remake. I'm going to be covering the heck out of it on this channel when it comes out. Oh, don't feel bad, Lomax. It's my own fault for not doing the research I should have done. Yeah, you know what? Obviously you guys know, most of you anyway, that I played through Final Fantasy VIII recently because of covering the remaster on the channel. And I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I would say that I've appreciated Final Fantasy VIII during that playthrough much more than ever before when I played it in the past. And I've played it several times and completed it several times. But for sure, I've learned to appreciate that game from the remastered version. The game is the same, of course. I think it was playing along with you guys in chat and talking about it. It just helped me to experience it in a new way, really. Hey, Roxana. Yeah, I do like Final Fantasy VI, although I haven't played it for many years. But, yeah, good game. I have heard a lot of people say that 6 is their favourite. Be interesting if ever we get a remake of 6. I mean, if Final Fantasy VII Remake does very well, which, let's be honest, it's probably going to, I suspect that Square will capitalise on that. And it won't be the last Final Fantasy we get to get remakes of. So who knows what we'll see next. I think Final Fantasy VIII, just based on the fact that Square seem to be really talking about that game a lot lately. But could be something else. Right, we speak to this guy first. We get a Phoenix down. Right, do not get caught during the security check. If you do, then you'll lose points with Barrett. And the next guy we can speak to, come on Cloud, make a move please. It's this guy here at the exit. And he gives us a high potion. And then this is the final train where we can kind of get an item, but it's not really gaining an item. It's more just getting an item that gets stolen from us back. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So that guy with spiky red hair, we just need to run past him quickly because we've got to get to the whole cutscene here. Catch up with him. Select that right. Then he gives us back the gil he stole. And now we need to run around that guy that's on the floor and into the next car. And there's no other items to grab now. So if you could move out of the way, please, fellas. Oh, if you could do your treadmill exercises later on. There we go. And now we're safe. Whew. Good afternoon, Zarek. Are you back, are you now, mate? Has the show finished? And did you have a good time? Thanks for joining us on the stream, by the way. Oh, a few other people stopped by in chat as well, which is great to see. Welcome, guys. Yeah, especially those of you that are just joining the stream for the first time. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel, you can go ahead and subscribe. Got a whole load of Final Fantasy content already available if you want to check it out. But today, we're playing the classic, the one, the only Final Fantasy VII. And Daryl Maples finally get to chat with you while you play. Good to have you with us, Daryl. So I think we got through the whole security checkpoint perfectly there in terms of actual gameplay. I did, Adam. I played Final Fantasy III on the DS, and I really enjoyed it. I played Final Fantasy IV on PC, which is pretty much the DS version. It is the remake version. And I even did a walkthrough for that game on the channel throughout the whole game. I don't think many people knew about that walkthrough I did because hardly anybody watched it, but I did do the whole game. It is available on the channel, and I really enjoyed it as well. I think I preferred Final Fantasy III, but I did like both games. Oh, I did not know that, I don't think, Lomax. Yeah, the mini-games in Final Fantasy VII, outside of Chocobo Racing, I didn't do a whole lot with them, historically, outside of what you need to do in order to progress the story, type of thing. Right, is there an item down here? I seem to remember if we go the wrong way, there is something. I know there's a few enemies we can farm for some experience, which isn't going to hurt. Oh, did you get to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Zarek? Oh, you're going to make a lot of people in chat, including myself, really jealous, I think. But that's fantastic, dude. Sounds like you had a good time with it as well. Yeah, it's awesome that you got the opportunity to play that, mate. And did you get to play the Avengers as well? Because I think that was there, wasn't it? Yeah, as you can see, guys, that's why I tend to put the all materia initially onto the lightning spell. Because you can just get through these battles so much faster in these tunnels here. And, of course, you can always change it around later on. But I just find it a lot easier to get some opening levels here with Bolt All. Oh, is it a fight with Shinra soldiers, Zarek? I'll tell you what, I'm going to go down here anyway. Simply because I want to get some experience, and with this Bolt All spell, it's a really nice opportunity to do so. And a lot of people are like, oh, but you're going to run out of MP. That's true. We actually get a tent shortly, which is a good opportunity to heal up anyway. So I want to make the most of the fact that we're going to be using that. No, not item. Let's just speed up, shall we? I need to remember we've got the speed up function here in Final Fantasy VII. Well, I'll tell you what, Daryl. That sounds awesome. Yeah. Any tips and stuff you want to share will not go to waste. Okay, yep. Just as Zarek said... Zarek said... there's just some soldiers here. In fact... does something happen if you kill these soldiers for long enough? Or am I misremembering it? I think you can kill them repeatedly, can't you? Maybe just for experience and nothing else. Grenades. Grenades aren't too bad, though. So, yeah, we can fight them repeatedly. But I don't think it amounts to much. Ooh. A lone survivor. Let's get Cloud to level 10, shall we? Can I decide if to order the first part this year or next? Is that for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, is it, Jana? Because I have heard a lot of people saying they're going to wait. Especially because of the PS5 coming out next year as well. The game's bound to be coming out on PS5, isn't it? With some improvements. I mean, for me, I've got to get it. It's a no-brainer for my channel more than anything. But I am very much looking forward to it, so I'm glad about that fact. Right, we'll go for one last battle here. And then we'll be nicely leveled up. Oh yeah, they can fill up our limit gauges as well. Hey Roger, welcome to the stream. I am going to kill them. Just because there'll be opportunity to get limit gauges filled up as we go through the tunnel still. But we've got some nice levels here. Right, let's run this time. But it's a good farming spot, that is. 84 experience isn't too bad this early on in the game. And as you can see, we're already level 10 with Cloud now. Yeah, I do love Bolt All. It's very, very useful at this stage. Yeah, I'm with you there, Desiree. Yeah, March the 3rd, I'll be playing. Oh, is that Shearer? Is it Lomax? I think it's Shearer. Right, Steve's jumped in with Shearer as well now, and Chibi. Hey, Elijah, congrats on platinuming Final Fantasy VIII. Well done on that. Yeah, I did so recently as well, so that's why I'm moving on to Final Fantasy VII next. I want to get the platinum before the remake. That is my current goal. Don't forget, guys, when you're doing farming in this game, you have got the toggle as well, the battle enhancement toggle, to stay at max limits, max health and all of that good stuff. But this early on, I'm not going to be using it. Later on, I probably will when I'm doing a lot of grinding and stuff. But there's no real need to at this stage. Oh, wow, Roger, you certainly did a lot more grinding than me. To be honest with you, I probably would be higher level than I am, but because of the fact that I'm doing this on stream, I don't want to drive people crazy with the grinding, which I know can happen. I need to go down, actually. Hey, Blaze. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. It's good to have you on the stream. Let's go down. Yeah, they should, shouldn't they, Steve? That'd be interesting. Yeah, I've never historically been one to bother with trophies. But since I started to get a couple of the Final Fantasy ones anyway, I thought it makes sense just to try and keep up the tradition. It feels wrong for me, personally, having the Platinum Trophy for Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy VIII now. And yet my favourite Final Fantasy is still feeling freaking neglected. I do not remember these fish guys. They're kind of unusual. I wonder if they'll be in the remake. Well, the levels continue. Hey, Matthew. Welcome, dude. Good to see you. Right. Okay, so I've got to remember, there's two ladders. There is a tent, you see, that I don't want to miss out on. What's this here? This isn't anything, is it? No. Let's start on this one. Okay, there's an item here. Right, the tent, I think, is by the next save point, isn't it? Oh, no, Scott. Nah. You can level up safely in Final Fantasy VII without it affecting anything at all. So, I'm more than happy to level here. Right, this will take us to the next area that we're required to go to, along, I believe, with the save point and the tent that I mentioned prior. There we go. And we'll save. And I think we'll take a break. We'll leave our first stream here at the lower Sector 4 plate, an hour and 24 minutes into our adventure. And we'll pick up on Wednesday. Alright then guys, well I hope everybody enjoyed this first stream here at Final Fantasy VII. And hopefully you'll stick around as we continue on. We're already storming ahead through the game. We're going to be working towards the Platinum Trophy, of course, before the remake comes out next March the 3rd. So just a few months away now, less than 6 months in fact, closer to 5. And I've got to be honest with you, at the start of this year, I could never have predicted that we'd be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake just in 2020, because we'd heard nothing about it really for so long. So, alright then guys, well that's it for today then. Appreciate everybody that stopped by. Welcome to all the new subscribers, all the new viewers, and thanks to everybody who continues to stick around. So, Wednesday, same time, about 2:30 PM UK time. I will schedule the stream about an hour or so beforehand. Perhaps, if you haven't played Final Fantasy VII for a while, then you might want to fire it up yourself, and you can play along with me also. It's always fun when you guys do that, and we can chat about the adventures that we're all having. I need to get Discord reinstalled. I reformatted my computer a couple of weeks ago. Well, no, about a week ago, and I haven't installed Discord since, so I do need to do that. But by all means, you know, leave some messages. You're better off chatting publicly, to tell you the truth. I don't always get to private messages, unfortunately, but if you chat publicly, I'll get Discord installed. And certainly be interested in discovering what it is you have to say there. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, folks. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Goodbye.